Education has been one of the essential tools in building any part of the world's future, and especially for Africa. This man sitting next to me, Fred Swaneker, founder and CEO of Sand Technologies, ALX, LU, I can say so many, has been monumental in building Africa's future 1% at a time. So welcome to Report Business here on Zare Ke-Kana. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Great. So let's start the conversation. Anytime I think of ALX, 21st century skills is what I think of, because I think 4 years ago, me and Miraf were like doing an interview in front of Addis Ababa University. That was the first time I heard of ALX, and I was just talking to him. It's like, what is 21st century skills? What is 20? But since then until now, it has changed because AI is, being very, very fast changing. What is 21st century skills?
Well, 21st century skills are skills that enable you to thrive in the 21st century and beyond. The name is actually a bit of a misnomer because many of the skills that we talk about are actually skills that you've needed for many, many prior centuries, right? So these are skills around how do you think critically? How do you communicate? How do you analyze data and use it to make good decisions? How do you work in teams? How do you lead yourself? And how do you lead others, right? And then also, how do you think entrepreneurially? So, we did research with about 200 employers around the world to ask them, what are the skills they typically find missing in college graduates? And that's how we mapped out these skills. So these 21st century skills, some people call them soft skills, but we think they're actually really hard.
They're the hard skills, yeah.
But they're the things that endure no matter how the world changes, because the world is changing so fast that the academic content and the actual careers are changing all the time. So these 21st century skills allow you to adapt and to evolve and to always be relevant no matter what is happening in the world.
Okay, so as I'm going through the website, I've seen data, career, creative tech, cybersecurity, entrepreneurship. And when you're looking at the two pillars, creative tech and tech light. And I'm going through those courses and I'm just thinking, which courses like, data analysis, creative design, content design, why those courses are chosen specifically? Those outlines of courses.
Well, we live in a moment of profound change, right? And the thing that's driving the change at the moment is technology, right? Data, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, robotics. These are the careers of the future, and in fact, the careers of the now. Yeah. So we designed ALX to be a platform for lifelong learning, right? So when you look at all those courses, don't worry about picking the right one because you can, continue to do many others. For example, when you enroll in ALX, it's a $5 a month fee for all you can eat.
Yeah, the all you can eat buffet.
So exactly. So you can do data analytics today.
Yeah.
Then when you finish, you can come and you can do data science. When you finish, you can do creative tech. When you finish, you can do, software engineering. So, because, before you would enter into a career and you'd stay with that one career, you'd enter into a job and you'd stay in that one job for the rest of your life. Yeah. Now, most people are going to have 15 to 20 jobs in their lifetime. So you need to keep learning new skills, right? And so that's why we've chosen this set of skills that are very, in demand today. But in 5 years' time, you might find a very different set of skills. Exactly. And ALX will always be evolving.
Definitely.
Based on what is most relevant for the market at that time.
At the start, as I said, 21st century skills may have been project management, communication and those at the start of the project. Exactly. But now, 4 years later, you fast forward here, and now it has become a very different set of courses.
Yeah.
Thank you. Coming to Ethiopia.
And something like creative tech we see as a huge opportunity because, Africa has many creative minds. We're a young population, and young people tend to be more creative. Look at what we've done with music in Nigeria, right? Definitely. And look at what you're doing here at Kana TV and all these, you're leveraging creativity. So we want to unleash millions of creative minds in Africa by giving them the tools to do film production, music production, gaming, animation, but using AI from day one. So we can do it faster and cheaper so that we as Africans can tell our own story.
That's great. Let's come to Ethiopia. ALX Ethiopia. Why Ethiopia and how has it been here?
why not Ethiopia?
Why not Ethiopia? There are two types of people, right? Why not Ethiopia, right? Okay.
I mean, Ethiopia is obviously one of the oldest civilizations in the world, not just in Africa. And it's a big country. So, if we wanted to be relevant in Africa and we want to be relevant in transforming the continent, we can't ignore Ethiopia, right? So we want to come here where there's a big population, where we can really make a big difference. Because our ambition with ALX and AL Group was to develop 3 million leaders for Africa by 2035. So therefore, you have to go to where there's a lot of people.
And that's the second largest population
the second largest population in Africa is here, right?
Yes, definitely.
So we had to come to Ethiopia. And also, Ethiopia has always been known to be the sort of the birthplace of many Pan-African initiatives, right? If you recall, the OAU was founded here and the African Union is still held here. So we wanted to make sure that we were here because ALX is a Pan-African initiative. And finally, I've also been drawn to, the rapid pace in which Ethiopia is evolving, right? And so we like innovative communities, and there's big emphasis on math and science in this country. So as we're thinking about where do you go to develop the tech skills of the future, we said, okay, Ethiopia has many of the ingredients, big population, young population, tech-forward society, and it's also it's where we need to be.
And it's like, I'm very happy that you brought up rapid change because I could actually, simulate that to the same growth that ALX is showing here in Ethiopia. Because, at the start, I can remember you being in a small office environment with Miraf and a few other employees in cubics. And now I'm seeing these two huge hubs in the data, in Hyolet, and I'm just like, whoa. So that's scaling up. How is that going for you?
Well, if you think, you need to look at it in context of what's happening across the whole continent.
Yes.
When we started ALX, really in 2020, we were training maybe only 50 people, right, in software engineering. And we had 2 small campuses, one in Mauritius, one in Kenya, and then we also had started something here in Ethiopia.
Okay.
But by 2024, we had grown to 36 hubs across Africa.
Yeah.
And last year, we trained 700,000 people. So from 50 to 700,000 in 4 years. And we graduated 200,000 people last year alone.
Yes.
So what you're seeing in Ethiopia is representative of what's going on all across Africa, right? And we want to keep scaling. You haven't seen the end of it. It's just the
definitely.
beginning.
I know, for sure.
It's just the beginning.
Okay. But I know I have one video in stock that I want to show you. And if you want to remember it, let them play it. And then you'll tell me what you remember from that event.
Okay, sure.
The first one, the video.
You guys are surprising me.
Let's see.
This is not the end, it's just the beginning of a great life for you. But great lives come through hardship, not the other way around. I'm someone who finishes things that I start. And I know how to do hard things.
You remember this video?
Yes, I remember this video. Who took this video?
This is it is one of your hubs. Which one?
Is that the Bole hub?
The Howlet hub? The Howlet hub.
Howlet hub, yeah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I want to ask you, sir.
Yeah.
How does it feel for you to impact, this many young people's lives where they're coming to change their way of thinking, their career paths, and then you're playing a huge part of it? Because I know you coming from Ghana, then Gambia, Botswana, we'll talk about that in our interview in detail, but how does that make you feel?
Sometimes I have to pinch myself, when I think that you have a dream, you have a vision, and you actually walk into a room like this and you see and you feel the energy of what you imagine. And it's much bigger than, I had ever dreamed of. So it's very fulfilling, it's inspiring. It also, it renews my soul and gives me more energy because doing this stuff is very hard, right? Very hard. You have to hustle, you have to raise money, you have to build teams, you have to deal with government and all these things. So when you have moments like this, it really makes you get more energy to go back and fight again.
I was looking at your commencement speech at your college for the 2018-2019 graduates.
Yes.
I was just I was seeing all of those things that you were saying and not having anything for even the train ride back. I was just going through videos who said that.
Yeah.
And for you to get here to be as picked as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. That is a great achievement. Congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank you.
So now to the bigger scale of things, ALU, you have your 3 courses: software engineering, entrepreneurial, business and trade, international. What are these courses, and why only 3 specifically?
Well, one of the things we believe is that what matters when you go to university is learning how to learn.
Okay.
And learning how to solve problems. It's not so much about the content that you study, because you're going to enter into a career that doesn't even exist today.
Yes.
So we are focused on giving you experience where you learn how to learn, and those are the 3 programs that we use. And we also found courses that are most in demand, and that prepares you for a very wide range of careers, right?
Yes.
And that's, but when you look at ALU, typical university in Africa, it takes people 5 years to get a job. At ALU, 75% of people get a job within 6 months, and they make 5 times the salary of typical college graduates in Africa, right? And employers rate them, 90% of them say they are 4 or 5 out of 5. So the model is working. If you want a great job, you want to make a lot of money,
yes,
and you want to be ready for the 21st century, you go to ALU or you go to ALX.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's great. Now, let me go to Zare Technologies. Zare Technologies is doing some major things across the health sector, different sectors. What are some of the most interesting things you're doing?
Well, our mission at SAND is to use data and artificial intelligence to solve humanity's biggest challenges. So we're talking about healthcare, connectivity, water, power grids. We want to really solve the biggest problems that humanity is facing, right? How do you run our countries better? How do we run our cities better, right? So one of the projects that I'm most excited about is our healthcare project, where the big challenge we have in Africa is that we don't have enough doctors, right? So we're using artificial intelligence to work with nurses and community healthcare workers who are more abundant, and allowing them to have superpowers so they can diagnose patients and do things that maybe before only doctors would have done. And then once you connect facilities in rural areas and urban areas, and you empower nurses and community healthcare workers, you get a lot of data. And so that data then comes into an intelligence center for the Ministry of Health in different countries in Africa. We're taking this now to 18 countries in Africa, where they can now start to look at what's going on in the whole system. You can start to predict pandemics. You can know how to allocate your resources. When you've got very scarce resources, how do you make sure it's going to the right place? Yeah. You can save costs better. You can manage your pharmaceutical supply chain. So you really shift the healthcare system from being reactive and expensive to more predictive and preventative. And it is really cutting edge stuff. It's the first of its kind in the world. One thing I'm very proud about with Zare Technologies is we're leveraging African talent to solve really big problems in Africa, but also around the world. Our engineers are building artificial intelligence systems for 7 of the 15 biggest telecommunications companies in the world, in the US, in Indonesia, in the UK, and so forth. Our AI systems are helping to run the water supply for the City of London.
Yes.
Right? African talent building sophisticated technology.
Sophisticated systems and something all across the world.
All across the world.
Amazing. Education in the beginning, I said, is one of the most essential tools to change someone's future. And I want to talk to Fred, the human, not the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So why is creating tomorrow's leaders, those great minds, those thinkers, so important to you? Because as an entrepreneur, there's so many easier things to do. There's so many easy businesses you could raise money, get your margin, and then be done, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think it really comes from my passion for Africa.
Okay.
Right? I was born in Ghana, but every 4 years of my life I moved to a new country in Africa.
Definitely.
So I fell in love with the continent, but I also saw that we have many challenges. And the biggest challenge I identified was the challenge of leadership. And so I thought, instead of just hoping that we get good leaders by accident, can we actually train the leaders in a proactive way, right?
Yes.
And that's what led to this journey. But the other aspect of my, what drives me is that, I believe that if you're fortunate enough to have been educated, to have good health, and to have good networks, then you're privileged. And the only way you can justify your privilege is by creating opportunities for others and by doing hard things. And so that's really what drives me. I want to make sure that I leverage my good fortune, my good luck, to really create opportunities for others. And in the end, that is what's going to matter most to me, more than many houses or wealth, whatever. It's transforming the lives of people.
Exactly. Yeah. So like creating that opportunity for the others, and you know the greatest human act is to give rather than even receive.
Yes, exactly.
Definitely. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy the rest of your stay here in Addis. Me and you are gonna catch each other tomorrow morning.
5 a.m.
On set, 5 a.m. We'll see you. So that's
All right.
That's the promise you do.
Great catching
Thank you
up.
so much.
Thank you.